Hello, my name is James and welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is my movie review for Underwater. Now, Underwater is being billed as a kind of a horror thriller about a bunch of underwater drillers that will have to escape because their underwater drilling operation is beginning to implode on itself. And it's more or less, that's the premise. And of course, we saw in the trailers that there could possibly be a monster involved. Well, we saw shots of it in the trailer, so yeah, there is some kind of a monster involved in here. And that's sort of what the selling point of this movie is. If you are curious about my trailer reaction to it, when I saw it, I was kind of like, whoa, wow, I like this setup. And then once you see that monster, it's kind of like, whew, okay, now we're going into full overdrive here. I'm really excited to see this movie. And that's my main takeaway, is that it's got some really cool things in here that'll make you go, ooh, wow, I like that. And that's what I want to try to sell you. If you are curious about that trailer reaction, I'll leave links to it up in the cards above. But that's what I want to give you, is why do you want to go see this movie? Why should you go see it? Well, it's got a fantastic setup. You know, the first act and the better part of the first second act it's really good. You'll be kind of like, wow, this is a January movie? Cool. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. And if you like Kristen Stewart, you're going to really like seeing her in this movie. She carries it, not only acting wise, but the camera loves her, and that's all I'm going to say. The movie starts off with a bang, literally, and it's just her in brushing her teeth, and then it just starts. It starts like that, guys, and it doesn't stop. It slows down a little bit, so I'm going to knock it for that. It does slow down towards the end, and I'll talk about that as I try to wrap things up. But I'm just trying to sell you this right now. If you are a fan of underwater movies, I think you're going to like it. If you are a fan of Kristen Stewart, you're definitely going to like it. And if you're just a fan of that kind of weird mystery, escape, hey, I'm trapped, I got to get out, and I'll do anything I can, then you're going to kind of like this movie. You're going to want to see this movie in the theaters. It's a quick hour and 35 minutes. I felt like they could have shaved some time off of that, but it's kind of an interesting movie in January, and I think that's what you're gonna like about it. Now, let's talk about some of the things that you may not like that will kind of rub you the wrong way. And the monster is kind of I don't know if it was necessary, but it's cool that they went there, because I kind of enjoy movies that just don't hold anything back. Once you show me something that's a little bit strange like that, you better run with it and go with it. And this movie runs with it. And it shows you some real funky stuff, man. And they don't explain it. They don't explain where it came from or what they were doing down there in the first place, or how they're able to survive all the pressure. They don't explain any of that. It's just, here's the setup, and now they got to get out, and you just have to accept it. And that's good. That's what I really liked about it. Now, as far as some of the things I didn't like towards the back end, there was a little bit of a lull where it's kind of like you don't quite understand all of the operations down there. So there's these little safe houses that they could get into to recharge their breathing apparatuses and stuff. And it's kind of like, wait a minute, aren't they trying to? If they're here, why can't they use this to get out? And they don't really explain that too much. It's kind of glossed over. So there are story elements there that will be kind of like, well. And if you really dwell on it and you let that stuff eat away at you, then it's not that good of a movie in that aspect. But for me, in a January movie, I had a lot of fun with this. I think it takes you to a place where you're just kind of like, I didn't expect to see that. And it just wraps things up at the end, I would say rather nicely. It gives you a satisfying ending. And I wouldn't take it much more than the surface level monster underwater horror movie. And as I said, the setup is great. The dialogue is okay. Now, it takes place in a small time span, so don't expect a lot of character development here. You get to see them only in a short matter of time. for people who want to see deep character and richness. It's kind of like, that's hard to do for a short, small time. So I never knocked it for that. But I'll give you my score sheet here and just let you have a quick look. Adding it all up, it's a 6 out of 10. So yeah, I think you shouldn't be too surprised that it's above par for sure, but it's not great. It's got that sci-fi horror element that I like, but I don't think it's going to appeal to a mass audience. But if you like those things that I said, you like Kristen Stewart, you're going to like this movie. If you like underwater movies, you're going to like this movie. If you like kind of like monster movies, then you're probably going to be definitely curious enough to go out and see this movie just to see how far they take it. And boy, do they take it to some weird places, man. Yeah, it's just kind of like, what's going on? And I think you'll enjoy that. All right, so 6 out of 10 for Underwater. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought about this. This is going into the new playlist now for movie reviews for 2020, and you'll find that up in the cards above. If you want to see what my previous movie reviews were, you'll have to look for the playlist. I'll leave the 2019 playlist up there too. Okay, so it's a good way to start off the year, I would say, for me. It was a nice, fun little time at the movies. Let me know what you thought about it. Okay, that's it. YouTube is recommending a video for you to watch right there. You can see my latest one just right up here. My name is James, and you're watching Mirror Domains. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Right there.